Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? What if I told you that your entire team is about to get wrecked? Not because you didn't build them right, but because Kuro never gave you the tools in the first place. Welcome to the Rinascita Arc, where the true boss fight isn't the content, it's your goddamn roster. Now, some folks in the comments thought I conveniently forgot to mention the 4-star drought in my last video. Well, nice try, but checkmate. While you were typing that spicy comment, I was already elbows deep in scripting this exact video, prepping for the fact that not only are 4 stars nearly extinct in the Rinascita Arc, but we're now expected to juggle negative status effects like frazzle and erosion with a team full of ghosts and prayers. So yes, I got you covered. Well, you know how it is. New patch drops, new characters, new challenges, maybe even some questionable lore decisions if we're lucky. But the Renascita Arc, it dropped something else too. A nasty little trend that no one's really talking about, but everyone is starting to feel. Negative status effects are now in the game. Frazzle, erosion, and even perhaps havoc bait. And while it's fun watching your Rover flail around like they're on a roller coaster ride, the not so fun part, we're woefully unprepared. And worse, it feels intentional. Why? Because you're not supposed to have enough 4 stars. Since the Rinascita Arc kicked off, Kuro has dropped 6 limited 5 stars like they're handing out candy at a festival. And we already know 4 more are on the way. That's 10 potential fireworks shows for your hard-earned asteroid savings. But 4 stars? They're practically a myth. We're getting premium glitter bombs while the scaffolding is missing. Where are the accessible supports, the elemental activators, the utility lifelines that let us engage with the ever-inflating complexity of these new mechanics? If the game were a movie, the 5 stars are the headliners. Sure, but the 4 stars are the camera crew, the lighting techs, and the editors. And right now, it feels like they didn't show up to the set. 5 stars are flashy, yes, but 4 stars are the glue that holds your team together. They're the unsung heroes carrying your cleanse, your shielding, your buffs, and your elemental triggers. They're your enablers, your lifelines, and your emergency bailout buttons when things go full doomsday mode. But with the way Rinascita is structured, the game practically expects you to own all the right 4 stars in the right elements with the right kits. And unless you've been hoarding asteroids since beta or have a psychic connection with the banner rotation, that's just not realistic. Let's take Zani for example. She's supposed to be a Spectro parry goddess, finally bringing some shielder slash damage dealer duality to the table. She's sleek, powerful, and surprisingly versatile on paper. But what happens when her entire utility is handcuffed to someone like Spectro, Rover, or Phoebe? Characters not everyone has built, or worse, not everyone has. Zani's mechanic, Spectro Frazzle cleansing, sounds like a miracle until you realize her frazzle doesn't cleanse itself. It needs to be popped, specifically by someone with the matching elemental trigger. And guess what? Only a very narrow pool of characters can do that right now, and 2 of them are either locked behind story progression, limited banners, or the sheer luck of a constellation alignment. And it's not just Zani. This is a Rinascita-wide crisis. The game has mutated into a full-blown status effect meta, but Kuro forgot to hand out the antidotes. You can't just flood the battlefield with disruption zones, energy drains, and debuff swarms while pretending we've all got level 70 Phoebes, tuned echoes, 5-star gear, and an emotional support resonator in every slot. That's not engaging game design, that's manufactured suffering. So yeah, 4 stars aren't just underpowered, they're underrepresented. The pace at which Kuro releases meaningful 4-star utility characters is glacial compared to how fast they're escalating enemy complexity. Instead of building a robust roster of options, we get one-off band-aids tied to event units or characters with ultra-niche conditions. Luckily for us, the leakers are whispering that Carlotta won't be premium locked like Zani. Supposedly, she'll be able to activate arrow erosion on her own. No arrow rover or golden ticket unit required. That could finally give us some breathing room and flexibility, assuming this is true. But let's not forget, these are the same leakers who swore we'd be guaranteed a 5-star on the anniversary, only for Kuro to hit us with the surprise mechanics of disappointment. So yeah, Carlotta might be our salvation or just another myth in the ever-expanding leaker folklore. And look, we're not asking for every 4-star to be the second coming of the Shorekeeper, but we are asking for coverage, for options, for some kind of balance between game design and player accessibility. When Zani feels like both the answer and the cautionary tale, that's a signal flare. Her potential is real, but so are the chains binding her to a brittle ecosystem. You don't unleash her value by investing in her. You unleash it by pulling a completely different unit. I don't think that's team synergy. That's more of like a hostage type of mechanic. So yeah, we need more 4-stars. We need more Spectro Frazzle appliers. We need 4-stars that can interact meaningfully with these new negative statuses. We need actual choices that don't rely on multi-banner clairvoyance or pay-to-win flexibility. And maybe, just maybe, we need to admit that the real endgame isn't just echo farming. It's surviving Kuro's patch cycles without prying into your pity counter. So yeah, Renascita, it's not just a story arc, it's a design indictment. The devs are doubling down on mechanics complexity, but they've only handed us half the roster we need to engage with it. And unless that changes, Zani and players like her are going to keep getting trapped in this cycle of brilliance buried under unreasonable dependence. And that's the video. If you're feeling the 4-star shortage, let us know in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the madness of Meta Limbo. And hey, try not to frazzle yourself on the way out. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.